I don't believe anything. I proudly say I don't believe anything. Anything the mainstream media provide, I don't believe. I say that proudly. I don't believe it. Say it with me. I don't believe it. Now, saying I don't believe it means you can prove it. Prove me wrong. Explain it to me. But I'm not going to start off with a default position of believing something. That's it. I say it proudly. I don't believe it. Prove it. Anything you say. And all it takes is the most minimal amount of research. Today, my friends, Mrs. Ellen and I have some of the best insights, the best sources regarding explosive stuff. And I'll just leave it at that. And I did a newsletter, email. I hate that newsletter because I do them all the time, on RSALT and what this is. We'll talk about that. DEI is not done yet. The Las Vegas case is not done yet. We've got Nancy Pelosi and something which is the most fascinating. Elon Musk is just changing everything. George Soros is nothing compared to him. Nothing. Elon Musk is owning everything. He's contumacious in a good way. He's brazen. He's bold. He's angry. It's wonderful. Embracing Naomi Zeit in the AFD right wing. When they see right wing, I'm in, because that's code for our side. I didn't even think I was right wing. I'm right wing now. Whatever you want to call it. Those are the people. Because the people using that term are always the enemy. And they are left wing, and they don't really see that as being problematic. So we're going to be talking about this. We're also going to be looking at the facts of the case. Remember, I'm not ever going to tell you, that's right, we're going to have attacks, we're going to have UAV, we're going to have drone attacks, 12, 15 at a clip, armadas of these. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. Because I don't know it to be true. I don't know it to be true. All I'm going to do is tell you what I've learned or what is presented, and then ask you, does this make any sense? Does this make any sense? And this Jabbar case. Oh, wait till I tell you about RSALT. This you're going to love this. I swear to God, it would take 5 minutes for a Fox News or somebody to say, let's look into this. But it would mean that the official narrative would have holes poked in it, or they would be made to look like fools. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Let's have a great night tonight. I'm so glad you're here. It's a nice and chilly 32 degrees in New York City, colder than a well digger's ass. And I'm so glad to be with you. Get ready, my friends. But first, before we start, I want you to listen very carefully to this very important issue from our very important sponsor. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you. my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. You know, my friends, I want to start off with a couple of things, kind of a couple of extraneous ideas, which I think are important. I just want to bring them to your attention. And the first one is the portrait of irrelevance. Now, I'm not saying this just because I personally think she's irrelevant, because she is. Because Nancy Pelosi is, for all practical purposes, irrelevant, completely and totally, without a doubt, awash in irrelevance. She can't let Trump go. She's like a lover. She's like a woman who's had her heart broken in the past. She can't let him go. And she comes up with the most preposterous stuff. This is the latest one where she basically blames Trump for her husband, who apparently got hammered with somebody he met in something that you and I know. Well, I think we know what that's all about.
Now, it didn't end that day. As you know, he called out to these people.
Remember, she's talking about January 6th. She's having such a difficult time putting words together. Remember this. How many times did he say, we know this is story. By the way, she tells you, reminds you of something. Always repeat the lie. Repeat the lie. Over and over again. Just say it.
To continue their violence.
Oh, by the way, remember her videotape, or not videotape, the video from her daughter, Alexandra or Alexandria, whatever her name is, who was a documentarian, who has her in the car saying, I told you we shouldn't have had the National Guard. What's going on? Remember that? She's forgotten that. She has another rule. You say a lie, and then you repeat the lie, and you forget information which tends to nullify the lie. See how that works? Now, I'm not here just talking about she looks like this, she looks bad. I'm not talking about her looks or anything personal. This is about what she has actually done. Stick to what she's done, not what she looks like.
My husband being a victim of all of that.
Now, her husband is a victim. Her husband, well, put it this way. If there were, and I don't know this, but I mean, I've had a little bit of a drinking problem. He's had some, drinking problems in the past. And there's been also some questions about whether he might be, I don't know which team he plays for. I don't know. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Not really sure. But if you told me that this was somebody he perhaps picked up or had some untoward, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And he still has
what?
Injuries from that attack.
From the guy he picked up? She's blaming Trump for this. I don't think you understand what he said. She's blaming Trump for this.
My husband being a victim of all of that. And it's
still, January 6th.
He still has
what? Say it.
Injuries from that attack. So it just goes on and on. It isn't something that happens and then it's over. No, once you're attacked, you have consequences that continue. So I don't.
What does that have to do with
strange person who's going to be president of the United States. Who thinks that it's okay to pardon people who are engaged.
Wait a minute. Biden just pardoned killers and gang R people, and this is another rule, huh? Well, I can't say that word. Can't use that word, but I said R. You know what that R stands for. But see, this is what he does. And he did this. So remember, forget the facts, forget the evidence contrary to the facts, and just make stuff up.
Who thinks that it's okay to pardon people who are engaged in an attack.
Unbelievable. Isn't it something? Isn't it something? Doesn't it make you feel like, wow, how does this work? By the way, be the first on your block. Now, something else which is happening, and this is a fascinating story. This is something which I never thought would be this interesting, but apparently it is. It is. Now, I don't know where you figure or what your votes are, your thoughts regarding immigration. And this is something which is a very difficult thing. Let me start by telling you this. This is America. And in America, I have a hard time mandating that people speak English, because we have people who are born in this country who speak a gibberish. I don't know what it is. So it's hard for me to say they have to speak English. Crypto says, I just commented on the Lionel Nation only Vegas video, and I noticed you never commented, sir. I was so sorry, sir. We're going to be talking about that now. You're a good man, Crypto. A good man indeed. My apologies to you, sir. I will make good on that. I haven't heard anyone, says Andrew, I haven't heard anyone connect the Colorado Spurs is a location of Colorado Springs is a location of NORAD. Does it mean anything? Maybe. Why of all places strange? Well, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe. I need something a little bit more than that, but that's okay for me. But let's go back, shall we? I've heard people, and I was watching, and one of my favorite, my pastimes, what I love to watch when you're watching Sean Ryan or Patrick Bet David, I like to watch arrest videos because I am fascinated by the level of prevarication, the lying, but also there is a form of urban gibberish. I don't know what it is. There was one called Boston. It was Boston. And I remember when they had these vest cameras first, I was like, this is going to be bad news for the police. It's the greatest thing for entertainment of all time. And great for them because the police officers save their ass. There are people who act so crazily that there's no way a judge could possibly believe it unless you said, well, let me show you, Judge. Let me show you how she acted. You can't believe what you see. But there were the shoplifters I love, especially from Walmart. And there should be a show called Walmart or Target too. Loss prevention. These are the greatest. They go and they'll let's say you have a steak. Let's say you have steaks, and you'll take a kind of a beep. You'll take the hamburger and you swipe it, but the expensive stuff you kind of move it over away from the scanner. You go like that, or you put them on top of each other and you go like that. And these scanners they zoom in. There he is. I mean, they've got cameras. They make casinos look like a gas station. And they get these people and they say, here you are. And you're stealing. And then it trips. You hear that? Excuse me, what is this? What? And so many times the police have said, what? What? You hate this and all with the right. That motherfucker crazy. Excuse me, what? 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 I could give you, and I'm an expert in this. So, I bring that up only. Is that English? According to the rule, can I deport them if you don't speak English? So how can I tell somebody, you can come to this country, but you guys speak English? Okay, we'll argue about that later. But this is America. And despite this this, I don't know what this culture is, and others, we have this thing called American. Okay. So the question is, what do we do with them? Do we need them? Oh, yeah. I would take everybody who was arrested at Walmart, everybody, irrespective of race, color, sex, mostly women, the majority women. Women are the evil side of humanity. They're in crime. They're insane. I am telling you. You can catch a guy here and there. They'll get fired. Women are crazy and violent, and they think they can hit men and hit cops. Can't believe it. So anyway, I would take everybody arrested at Target, put them on a ship, and bring in H-1B. Guy wants to be a tech person. Bring them on over. Bring them over. They're not going to get in trouble. Bring them from India. They're not going to be shoplifting at Walmart. They're not going to be selling anything. They won't be sleeping on the streets. They won't be breaking in anywhere. No, they've got families and tradition, and they speak better English. I'll take them. You hear what I said? I said, I want to get all these people. I say, you know what? I'll make a deal with you. We will drop your charges. What? I'll drop your charges, but you've got to go to India. Now, we can't tell them, but I just will give you a one-trip ticket. It's the best, the air, whatever it is, first class, not business, first class, the best. We're just going to drop your ass off there, and you stay there and bring somebody over here. I will take them in a heartbeat. I will take them in a heartbeat. One of our dear friends who we work with, he's from Afghanistan. Nicest, sweetest man. I'll take him, and I want to take somebody who's born up the street. You can go. There are more. I can't stand, listen to me, Americans. They're the worst. They're the worst. And we've got some lunatics. Believe me, we got some bad ones here from other countries. But I'm telling you, there are, they say, about 1,200 people that are repeat violent offenders here. And I think if let me tell you something. Listen to me. If I ran the country, I'm telling you right now, if I ran the country, I would do like they do in China. You have a problem, you call me. Call my special division. And if you say, hello, yes, special division. Yeah, listen, we got this guy. He's scaring kids, and he keeps stealing, and he's yelling at people, and he's drunk all the time. What does he look like? Can you send us a picture? Yes. That's him. Is that him? Yeah. Thank you very much. The next day, he's not there anymore. And they say, whatever happened? What do you mean what happened? To that guy. What guy? The guy we called you about. I don't remember offhand. Do you remember? Oh, okay. Who else we got a problem? This one here? Who, you got a problem with this? Take care of it. What about the ACLU say, what happened to them? Who? You know what? I'm sorry. Because I would say is, the damnedest thing happened. You know how you lose kids in the system? And we would say, hey, how come you lose kids in the system? And you said, well, I don't know. Well, sometimes I lose people in the system too. You can understand that. That guy who was relieving himself in front of the store and scaring people and scaring off customers and making the kids. Remember that guy? Yeah, the guy was exposed. Yeah, that guy. We lost him. Just like you lose kids. You can understand that, can't you? I mean, it's a system. I don't know, paperwork. We'll work on it. We have people, we have a system. There are kids who've never come back after COVID. They just left. Nobody's going after them. Teachers get paid no matter what. I'm not going to look for this guy. So I'm going to lose people. Vote for me, and I'm going to lose them. What happened to him? I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. That guy. I don't know. You didn't care about losing kids with CPS. You didn't care about that. We told you all about that. We told you all about you didn't care about it. So I'm going to return the favor. And you're going to understand that, aren't you? Aren't you? You better believe it. This is America. That's right, Crypto. You got that right, buddy. Haitians taking Walmart jobs. I don't know. You'd be surprised the number of people who at these stores steal themselves. Crypto says, I saw 6 white large geese flying earlier. Beautiful. Don't keep that quiet. Whatever happened to Springfield? Anyway, I digress. So remember, vote for me. I love America, but there are some folks I don't like. You got a problem with that? Call me. You got a problem? Yeah. We caught somebody breaking into cars for the first time, fifth time. Go in that van. What happened to him? I don't know. We lost him. It's a damnedest thing. And children? Oh, I'll take care of that. Oh, I'll take care of that. Absolutely. Oh. And I'll just say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, so Nigel Farage has reformed UK, and he's in a pissing match with our good friend in years, the great Elon Musk. And listen what Nigel, Mr. Brexit, has to say about Muslims.
But the nub of it is, we have a Muslim population in Britain growing by about 75% every 10 years. Right? That's just where we are.
Mm-hmm.
If we politically alienate the whole of Islam, we will lose. We'll lose.
So how does one include
We
them?
will lose. By 2050, goodness knows what kind of a terrible state we're going to be in.
Why? Now, first of all, you got to understand something about that. I got to throw that one out at you. I don't want to hear anybody. Elon said, what? You know, H-1B visas are one thing. We're going to what? You're going to hold us? No. You know what's happening in the UK regarding Pakistani folks, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And I love my friend Palki Sharma. Used to be on WeOn. Now it's first. She is the best. And India and Pakistan, as you know, not exactly the best of friends. They did something on these roving bands of our folks, and they can't stop it. I'll stop it. I'll stop it. Are you willing? I'll stop it. Yeah, okay. I'll do it. I'll take care of it. Remember, at the beginning of the Constitution, at the beginning of our country, everything was the death penalty. Every felony was a death penalty. You want to talk about an originalist? I'll be one. Everything. Everything. It's time. I am changing because the situation is changing. I believe in freedom. But if ever we do have something where, let me ask you something. Let's say there is a woman that you know who is intellectually, I don't want to say retarded, but somebody who's really not, not all there. But she's very fertile, very fecund, and keeps having kids. And she won't have anything to do with any, and this is important. Let me ask you a question. This is an important issue. And she won't have anything to do with the contraception. Could you see a court saying, we're going to advocate sterilization? Could you ever see that happening? Could you ever see that happening? You goddamn right I can see that happening. What are you kidding me? Not people who are, if somebody is like, wait a minute, what? Somebody's being taken advantage of? Absolutely. You got to understand something. I love this document, but this document lets us do a lot of stuff. Remember, everything was the death penalty. Everything. Do you hear what I have to say? Everything. And there was this, where was that guy from in the 5-year-old? Was he Guatemala or? This guy with a 5-year-old. Now, how this guy got near this kid? A lot of these stories are kind of weird about parents. Oh. But I had a friend of mine who worked in the restaurant business. And he said, let me explain something to you. These people, he was saying like that. He was very open-minded. He goes, but they would come, he said. And the first thing that people would do when they came to this country, and they had absolutely no skills whatsoever, the very first place they would go to try to work would be restaurants, washing dishes, cleaning, whatever it is. They were there. They'd be at the door because they knew, go to a restaurant, any restaurant, because they just show up. And many of them are good, many of them whatever. But he told me, he said, you don't know poverty. Some of these people had no names. They were from jungles or something. They had no birth, no records of anything. They were just born. And they would, it's not even, I don't want to say the word, the T word, as in the great Steve Winwood, traffic, but they would just sell anything. Children, siblings, dogs, anything. They came from another, it's not like they were bad people. They just, whatever. And they were savages in terms of, good people, but from places where there was no order. Cartels ran it. Okay. So when you talk to them about probation, what? We're going to put you on probation, restorative justice. You're going to be going to victim. You're going to meet what? You're going to have to go to probation office. Make sure you pay your cost of supervision, COS fees. If you lose your employment, call what? What are you talking about? Okay. In order to get their attention, you have to show them that you mean business. And you have to do something, especially with these new folks coming in here from across the border who know violence and I'm going to say a savagery you can't imagine. So we're going to have to be medieval and theatrical and public with our various forms of, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, before I forget, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is critical for you to understand this as well. I don't know how it's going to come, my friend. I don't know how it's going to come or what the deal is, but I'm going to tell you right now. You listen to me and you listen carefully. They're going to do something here. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. And I'll let you use your head. But they are setting you up and setting us up for one kind of a disaster. And they want to see this president fail. And they want to see nothing but disorder. Disorder, that order, all kinds of order. So consequently, these folks are going to be doing these things, and they're going to be involved in these ventures and in these cases, in these things where they are involved, as I'm telling you right now. And something is going to happen, something horrible, something terrible regarding food, shopping, stores, groceries, supply chain. I don't know what. I'm going to say this. If you don't prepare right now, there's no hope. I don't know what to tell you. These people are serious. And you better have 30 days of food, not some banana chips and some jerky. 30 days of food. Preparewithlionel.com is it. That's it. That's it right there. All of these links are available. And one more time. Mike Lindell, this is for you, my friend. Great American, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Get a free gift. That's it. Buy everything he's got. I love that man. I don't mind telling you that. Now, you want to hear something good? Good. This is a story from my latest, again, I hate that term newsletter, but I guess I'll use it. But it went out today. It was damn good. And I did some information regarding some stuff that just doesn't make any sense. And let me tell you about this one. And by the way, I quoted this one. I have at the top as quotes. Con Edison crooks, this is for you. George Metesky. Anybody know who George Metesky is? Anybody remember that name? George Metesky. Anybody? Anybody remember that name? Anybody? Anybody? George Metesky, the Mad Bomber. 1950, whatever. He had a beef against Con Ed, and he was, stop me before I, whatever. George Metesky had that crazy, look his name up, the Mad Bomber. And this is a story which is so incredible, so fascinating. You see, my friends, there's this new story. Now listen to this. See what you find wrong with this. There was a guy, his name is Shamsuddin Jabbar. That's that feller in Nowlands. And everybody is saying he had this very rare, exotic, explosive. Oh, it's incredible. It's called R-Salt. Letter R dash salt. Have you heard this one? Okay. This is in there. If you don't sign up, if you don't click, you're not going to be, and by the way, I have all the other, you can get all the passwords. Well, the use of the explosive compound known as R-Salt in the New Orleans terror attack has drawn significant attention, particularly due to its unusual appearance in a domestic incident. And the word is use. It might be a stretch because it was more like found. They found it. They didn't use anything. They didn't use anything. He didn't even use it. They found it. Hello? Anybody with me? He didn't do anything. Mr. Guy with his meta glasses on, scoping out things, and he gets into a truck and he has a flag. He's like, what are we talking about here? He's a bomber. It's just like we had this Times Square bomber. They had a propane tank and an M80. They called it the Times Square bomber. They didn't bomb anything. That's like calling somebody, the whatever, the Hell's Kitchen killer. I didn't kill anybody. Well, you could have, but I didn't. Now, R-Salt is often described as rare. And in fact, a more accurate characterization would be it's rarely used outside the Middle East. Now, the compound has been a notable favorite in that region. And it's valued for its performance, which nearly matches our own RDX. You know that, all you bombers out there. The primary component of military-grade C4. And for those of you who are in criminal law in Florida, 3.1, I know C4, motion to dismiss. C4 it, traverse. But I digress. Unlike many improvised explosives, R-Salt is relatively easier to synthesize, but it requires a blasting cap to detonate. You just can't use simple ignition like a fuse. It won't work that way. Well, they found it in a kind of a thing, but he never used it. I'm telling you again, he didn't use it. Wait a minute. You don't think that, oh, this is too much. You don't think that maybe it was just kind of added, do you? You don't think that at the last minute they kind of just added this thing on, do you? They just said, here, this is here you go. I didn't. No, it's yours. It's his. Okay. Now, it's highly unlikely that this now very and unavailable for comment suspect stumbled upon it by chance or through casual research. The synthesis of this and the handling of R-Salt require a level of expertise suggesting formal training. And this raises serious questions about where and how Jabbar acquired this expertise and knowledge. Now, while the compound has not been documented in terror attacks in the US or in Europe, its use here points to, as everybody's saying, a level of sophistication that aligns with organized training more than some kind of self-taught experimentation. But they didn't use it. They found it. Somebody could have dropped that off. He might say, what are you talking about? R salt. What is that? Well, he can't because he... Now, some experts are speculating that Jabbar may have been trained by an instructor or somebody with chemistry or explosive backgrounds. I don't know. And the real question is, why didn't he use it? As in detonated or exploded. You've got it. It's this rare stuff. Come on, man. Instead, he's walking around with his meta glasses. Give me a Waze app. I'll figure. He used a truck. Again, I'm not advocating this. Now, here's another thing, too. Look at his background, which focused on human resources and IT. His expertise with R salt, you didn't get that in the IT division. Maybe it came from sources external to the military. I don't really know. But there's a lot of stuff out there that are questions. You think anybody's going to be talking about this on Fox News? No, they don't question anything because they hate for you to suggest, I'm not buying this. You buying this? I don't understand this. We have two stories. We have two guys. We got Limburger, or whatever it is in Vegas, and then we got this guy. We got Jabba the Hutt over here. Okay. And the first guy who sends an email, anybody figure that one out? Colin, I heard before Colin Rugg was suggesting that Mr. Sean was hiding out or something, or maybe I'm reading this thing wrong. He said that, let me see. He's got some good stuff here. Oh, they got all these lunatics talking. Where is this? Let me see. I could have sworn I read this. You see with this thing, new rapper accidentally fires his gun while reaching his hand. Did you see this one? Colin Rugg, R-U-G-G. Very, very good. Very, very interesting. Let me see this. Anyway, you can do this. There's so much great stuff. Oh. Here we go. This was from, hang on a minute. This was, how long ago was this? Remember X, this is from January 3rd. Sorry. I read something that says something to the effect that they might have been, I don't know, maybe I'm reading this thing wrong. In any event, now here's some questions I have to ask you. And this is what I want to know. And you're not going to be seeing Harris Faulkner ask this question. I guarantee you, because they don't do this. How does someone with no combat or demolitions experience, Limburger had it, because he was, special forces and all that. But how does somebody without any kind of special ops or demolitions experience, as outlined in his military background, how can he manage to acquire the skills to construct? You have to kind of make this to construct R salt. Huh? That make any sense to you? No. Why would Jabbar, an alleged lone wolf, or what do they say, use advanced technologies like meta smart glasses and sophisticated explosives without any apparent assistance from anybody else? What was that about? And given his recorded pledge to ISIS and the complex nature of preparation, is it plausible that he acted entirely alone? Are you kidding me? Now, you know that we don't go any further. We don't know anything about the Butler, Pennsylvania case. We don't go. We'll do 3 days. We'll forget the whole thing. But I'm just presuming that somebody gives a damn about this. And if R salt is rarely used in the Middle East, or rarely used outside the Middle East, and requires specialized training, does this not imply a deeper kind of a network that we should be looking at? And why is there so little clarity about how he could have accessed and utilized the materials and the technique? Does this make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's nuts. I'm just telling you. It's so interesting. And let me give you another one too. I've been spending so much just reading and talking to my experts. Let me show you this one. I had something up I want to show you. I want to bring this one up to you because the questions are fantastic. Again, can you imagine this? This is Harris Faulkner. Oh, this is Judge Janine. Oh, this is Campagno. Oh, how do we look? Why don't you ask some questions? We don't ask questions. We just go, isn't it great? How was this? How's Ducey? Let's talk about Corinne Jean-Pierre or Bill Nye. Who gives a damn about Bill Nye? It doesn't matter. It's a stupid award. You've just killed whatever. By the way, the Golden Globes were on tonight. Mrs. Allen and I were going to say, we'll give it a shot. What is it, on the app? It's not even on TV. Online, yep, it's over with. And by the way, let me tell you something. We have discovered a show that was on before, but thanks to Hulu, 30 Rock. Tina Fey, Alec Baldwin is a genius. It's one of the best written shows ever. Ever. But let me ask you some questions. I made some notes. By the way, if you're not signing up for the newsletter email, there's no hope for you. There's just no hope for you. None. Okay. Question number 1. Given Limburger's military training, why would he use such ridiculously stupid materials like fireworks and liquid fuels rather than constructing a more sophisticated device? Now, understand something. Limburger, this is a guy, he specializes, whatever. He uses firecrackers, fireworks. Jabbar, over here, who doesn't know diddly about it, he's got the most sophisticated stuff there is. Does that make any sense to you? No. And you know why nobody talks about it? Because people are told, don't ask any questions. Just shut up, get your hair and makeup, take your 5-10 mil and go home. Don't ask any questions. We don't want to hear what you have to say. So think about this. Does this make any sense to you? Okay, tell you what, Limburger, you take the fireworks. What? Fireworks, bottle rockets, Roman candles, black cats, sparklers. You take them. But I'm trained to. No, that only makes sense. All right, Jabbar, we're going to give you the good stuff. Our salt. What the hell is that? Precisely. Next question. Could the use of basic materials indicate logistical constraints, time pressures, or an intentional decision to maybe limit the blast? Maybe he had second thoughts. Of course, he's going to send a letter to Shoemate and Sean Ryan, or Shoemate, which is the stupidest thing. Anyway, next. How credible is this Limburger email sent to Sam Shoemate, particularly given the unusual spell check anomalies that suggest potential tampering or alteration or bullshit? Pardon my French. Anybody talking about that? Huh? Hey, Harris Faulkner, talking about that? No. Hannity? No? Anybody? No. 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 That's for a weak conspiracy. Next. These are all my questions. You got to get to my newsletter. What can be inferred from the explosion's hallmark characteristics? White smoke, colored sparks, and small detonations. About the intention or the expertise behind the creation. Maybe it was somebody else. And how can this be detonated if he was... Next, why would a highly trained Special Forces Green Beret choose to stage such a stupid event if his stated motivations involving raising awareness about national security? So he takes a what? See, here's my rule. Never do this. If you're a terrorist, don't ever do this where people say, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Remember the old joke? Did you ever hear about the blank mafia? You can pick any ethnicity you want. Yeah, they make an offer you won't understand. That's what this is. What does that mean? Is there evidence to suggest that Limburger was coerced or manipulated or influenced into carrying out this act, given the deliberate discrepancies in his skill. And what was that? Was this to throw us off? Like, I had to do this, so I'm forced to. And I can see Xi Jinping saying, what does have to do with with the anti-gravitic? I don't know. He say he knows about our This is my Xi Jinping voice. Yeah. But by the way, he has one voice, one face. Notice that he has no expression. He never smiles, never laughs at the one. How significant do you think is the claim about advanced drone technology in Limburger's email? And does that align in any way with national security threats, or does it point to some deeper psychological thing which they're trying to make him look crazy? And what role might external influences or potential accomplices have played in this? And why were fireworks and fuel selected? Fireworks? But again, I tell you again. Jabbar has got the rarest stuff of them all. And Limburger's got sparklers. Does this make any sense to you? Is anybody asking any questions? Does anybody care? Does anybody care? Sounds like they got each other's script by mistake. Precisely. And the deep state must have a DEI protocol when hiring their propagandists. It's the worst. Anybody can make these explosives. The books are out there easy. Anybody can make these. Well, not our salt. Not apparently that. I love this stuff. I love this. And you'll never, and again, I'm telling you this. I would love, they wouldn't let me on. Can you imagine me on Fox? Hey, Deucey, yeah, one more question, yeah. Did the word bullshit ever come up to you? What? You didn't ask, who's our Pentagon person? Get Bill Malugin. Billy, yeah. This is bullshit. Did you know, why would they give this guy? He's walking around, hey, I got my glasses on. What are you mapping out? You're going to go here, you're going to go there. Where are you going with the glasses? What does he need the glasses? I don't understand any of this stuff. They're giving him the glasses. They're giving him this salt, all this stuff. And meanwhile, Limburger, what does he get? He gets a nice Tesla, which he rented, and, black hats and bottle rockets, Roman candles and some sparklers. This is nuts. And they expect you to do nothing because they think you're stupid. Johnny Maz says, why would the Las Vegas guy use an Israel-made Desert Eagle 50 when he's an active duty American soldier? Well, he might have had this. I had one years ago, and for all practical purposes, they're not very practical. They're just, it wasn't a 50. I think it was a 40-something mag, but it's great for hunting as a sidearm if you're boar hunting, but that's no. Please answer me, how do you do that and somehow end up, how do I say this? How do you end up of the living when all this is going on? Can you explain that to me? Can anybody work with me on that one? Am I missing the point here? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a silly person. Maybe I'm not very sophisticated. But the first thing I want to do is it's got to match the smell test. And they wonder why we're supposed crazy conspiracy theorists. I swear to you. But listen, what I'm telling you is this. Remember, do not give up hope. Do not give up your ability to ask questions that are demanded. Do not let these people intimidate you. Do not let them tell you you can't do this. I mean, and we're going to see it again. And every time they do something, whoever is in charge of this, if somebody's in charge, because don't forget, there is a theoretical possibility that these people could be lone wolves, as what's her name says. They may say, these people are the stupidest people in the world. They're actually buying this. They buy it. They don't ask any questions. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. where what? Have you noticed? Listen to me. There's not one event, no terrorist attack, no catastrophe, no anything that doesn't inspire at least 100 questions from us. You ever notice that? Have you ever heard of anything that's ever happened where you didn't say, well, that's the way it is? Yep, they got that right. Hey, just like the media say. That's it. That was it. Nothing to it. House fire. Okay. I mean, other than little things. Can you think of anything? 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 October the 7th. My favorite. My favorite. It doesn't make any sense. The Mossad. The creme de la creme de la creme. The best. The absolute gold standard of intel agencies. And what happens? These Hamas people spend about 2 years preparing for this thing. They've got makeshift things. Not one spook. They know every phone. They call everybody on the phone. Hey, by the way, don't go. You better go outside. Don't get in your building. How'd you get my number? It doesn't matter. These people can go after, they thought it was so cool and funny to go after pagers. They had plastique or whatever it was, some text, in pagers. There's nothing they can't do except predict October the 7th. Come on. Come on. And do you think they don't know where the hostages are by now? What? We're not talking. What? Are you? No hostages, no case. If they say, all right, the hostages are gone, they're all gone. You're going to back out of here? Oh, no, we're still going to go and look for Hamas because they have the tunnels. There's nothing here. Oh, no, they have tunnels. There's nothing here. There's rubble. It's gone. If there's a tunnel below there, they can't get out. Oh, no, not those. You just want to get rid of us, don't you? Don't say that. That would be ethnic cleansing. We don't do that. Or apartheid. No. Look. I'm supposed to sit there and say, uh-huh, okay, right. It insults my intelligence. Just tell me. Have the guts to say, damn right, that's what it is. Of course it's what it is. Of course we knew what it was. It's a lie hop, baby. Let it happen on purpose. We're not going to stop this. Are you kidding? This is it. They want you to just be stupid. They just want you. They think you're stupid. They think we're one of them. We're not. And that's why, believe it or not, I have so much faith in this Elon Musk feller. I think he understands it. I think he really understands how this thing works. And I know he does some stuff that people don't like. And I know that. And I'm sorry. But you know what? That's the way it is. Some things will never change. I think the great Bruce Hornsby said it best. All right, my friends. Now listen. I think I told you this before, and I'm going to tell you this again. And I want you to listen like you've never listened. And this means a lot to me. A lot. So I want you to listen very carefully. On the 19th of this month, one day before the inauguration is my beloved wife's birthday. Or as we say in West Ham, a birthday. And I want to give her something that she would love. And you can help me. And that is, I want her to hit 100,000 subscribers. Immediately. Now, you might say, well, that's a little bit much. No, it's not. I just put the link for Lynn's Warriors. I want you to go right there and subscribe. Why? This is the damnedest thing. Sometimes people get unsubscribed. I don't know what the deal is. It's the simplest thing in the world. It's the best channel. If you care about kids like you say you do, if you really want to know the truth, instead of all these showboaters and these big shots who think they're these four flushers who, we're going to serve. You're not doing anything. All I want you to do is follow this. There's a link one more time. Put it right there. Lynn's Warriors. That's all they ask. All right, my friends. What a great night it's been. What a rare mood I'm in. Crypto Domini, Johnny Maz, Andrew Hessing. Thank you so much for your kindness, perspicacity, and absolute delight. And by the way, thank you again. Not for what you do, but for what you appear to do. And I mean that sincerely. All right, my friends, we'll see you in the morning. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Remember, don't trust them. And ask yourself, you buying this? I don't think so. All right, my friends, remember these final words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.